In this video, we are reacting to the worst truth or dare deaths ever. What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another video. I remember truth or dares. Damn, I might be messing that up all video, but I remember doing them growing up. The best thing about truth or dares is that you can. The best thing about, I'll get into it later. Let's get straight into the video.
She been command me.
On May 24th, 2023, just days after graduating high school, 18-year-old Cameron Robbins from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, was celebrating with several hundred classmates on a trip to the Bahamas. They were staying at the Atlantis Paradise Island Resort in Nassau. That evening, the group attended a sunset party cruise aboard Blackbeard's Revenge, a pirate-themed party boat. Around 9:40 p.m., near the uninhabited Athol Island northeast of Nassau, someone dared Cameron to jump off the boat into the dark ocean. Several students tried to grab him and stop him. They reached for him, attempting to hold him back.
He like, nah, let me do the dare. I ain't no chicken. Let me do the dare. Get off me. I'm jumping into the Pacific. Is that the Pacific? I don't know.
But Cameron broke free from their grip. He jumped into the water. Footage captured the aftermath. Cameron could be seen swimming in the dark waters. Friends threw a life preserver toward him. People screamed, "Grab the buoy! Hey, the buoy!" They were trying desperately to direct him to the flotation device. But Cameron appeared to swim away from it. Within seconds, he vanished from view. The boat remained anchored for hours as students searched frantically. The U.S. Coast Guard, Royal Bahamas Defense Force, and United Cajun Navy searched the waters until about 3 a.m. Royal Bahamas Defense Force Commodore Raymond King called the area really shark-infested. He said,
"Imagine being able to build an app with
we got ads.
Just by thinking about it.
Shark-infested waters."
The probability of survival decreases significantly, particularly if a person did not have on a life vest, and particularly if a person is perceived to be intoxicated. The search covered 325 miles over 2 days. On May 27th, authorities called off the search. Cameron Robbins was officially designated lost at sea. His body was never recovered. A memorial service was held at Broadmoor United Methodist Church in Baton Rouge. Cameron was described by his baseball coach as a fierce competitor and by his family as funny and kind-hearted. My darkest secret. On May 28th, 2018.
Never let an ego get that, Don't ever let an ego get that, I'm doing it. I gotta prove myself. You don't gotta prove nothing to nobody. To be sitting here, really pressed to do a dare. You don't need it. You don't need it that bad.
In the early hours of the morning, a neighbor looked out her window in Heysham, Lancashire, and saw flames at 94-year-old Mary Gregory's bungalow. Firefighters rushed to the scene and found Mrs. Gregory unconscious in the conservatory, suffering.
Let me guess. I dare you to put her back in the house?
From smoke inhalation. She was treated by paramedics and rushed to Royal Lancaster Hospital, but died 4 days later. An investigation by Lancashire Fire and Rescue Service concluded the most probable cause was a dropped or carelessly discarded cigarette. Mrs. Gregory was a heavy smoker with dementia. The coroner recorded a verdict of accidental death. The case was closed. Then, weeks after the funeral, during a game of Truth or Dare with two friends, 17-year-old Tiernan Darnton revealed his darkest secret.
He threw the cigarette?
"I have a secret I haven't told anyone. I may have killed someone." His friends didn't believe him. He persuaded them to keep quiet. But in May 2019, during a counseling session, Darnton mentioned a friend who could send me to prison cause of what he knows. He added that he had felt powerful at Mrs. Gregory's funeral because he knew what had happened, and everyone else in the room didn't. The counselor ended the session by saying, "I think you're trying to tell me you've killed someone." Darnton mouthed, "Yes." Police reopened the case. They discovered.
Damn, ain't that supposed to be confidential? You genuinely cooked yourself.
That nigga's tripping.
You shouldn't have did that one. But nah, there's foul play. I think whoever your therapist, the counselor, I don't know. You could tell people if it's like, involving other people, right?
Mrs. Gregory's
floor. Is every single thing confidential?
Plan, with labels like good hiding place and quick exit. Evidence showed he had set the curtains on fire with a lighter, unplugged the phone, disabled a smoke alarm, and placed a table in front of the conservatory doors to block her escape. Investigators found disturbing searches under 18 murder and how long do murderers serve in prison. In November 2021, Darnton was convicted of murder and sentenced to life with a minimum of 15 years. The bridge incident. On a summer day in 2024, two teenagers, ages 15 and 16, were part of a group chat where dares were being shared among friends. The conversation turned to jumping off a bridge into Lake Hartwell, South Carolina. The pressure mounted through messages. Other teens egged them on. The two decided to go through with it. They drove to the bridge and climbed onto the railing. The drop to the water below was significant. Without hesitation, both teens jumped. They plunged into Lake Hartwell.
And both teens jumped and they both died, right? That's what he's about to say.
Friends watching from the
He missed? Is this him?
shore expected to see
He
them
landed on the
surface.
sand or
Seconds
what?
passed, then minutes. Neither came back up. Emergency services were
shit.
called immediately. Dive teams searched the lake. Eventually, both bodies were recovered. Neither teen had made it back to shore. The local community was devastated. Candlelight vigils were held. Parents gathered, holding candles.
See, man, don't do truth or dare. See, it's cool when you growing up, you doing truth or dares. It's fine. You just gotta know your limit. Don't let that ego. Cause look, this how truth or dares go. If you play long enough, I was never in one to play long enough, but it starts from, hey, I dare you to put your foot with your shoe and socks on, or with your whole fully clothed, drop one leg inside the pool. Oh shit. Okay, I'll do it. I'll fucking do it, man. I'll do it. And there's one nigga in the group that's like, bro, I dare you to follow her into the girls' bathroom, right? Oh shit, hear me out. Follow her into the girls' bathroom, and then while she takes off her pants, hold on. While she takes off her pants, dude, you're just gonna take off your pants too, and you're gonna make sure that she. Don't do it. Know when to stop. There's a time and place. You gotta know who the wild nigga is, and he's gonna have people that might second him, but don't do it. I'm telling you.
Photographs of the two teenagers. Flowers and messages were left at the bridge. In the days that followed, parents across the community warned about peer pressure games spreading through social media. The group chat that had contained the dare was examined by authorities.
That shit's real too, cause I remember growing up too, like personally. There's things, especially being on teams and sports, and it's like, I dare you this, slap coach in the back of his head while we're all behind him. He's not gonna know who did it. We just all gonna get in trouble. Someone slap him. No, not me. I didn't slap him. I got respect. But they slap coach in the back of the head. Obviously not, bow, but like, some regular. Who did that? Who did that? Mother. You know what I mean? I just did 2 of my coaches that I've had before, voices, but it wasn't any of those coaches.
Friends who had participated in encouraging the jump were left traumatized. Counselors were brought into local schools. The deaths sparked conversations about the deadly consequences of online dares. The bridge where the teenagers jumped became a memorial site. Parents begged other teenagers to think before accepting dangerous dares, no matter how much pressure they felt from their peers. The community mourned 2 young lives lost to a moment of reckless decision-making. The boiling water incident.
Damn.
On March 22nd, 2017, in Florida, 8-year-old Kihari Pope was at a sleepover with her cousin and friends. The children decided to play Truth or Dare. The game started innocently enough. Then, someone dared Kihari to drink boiling water through a straw. The other children thought it would be funny to see if she would actually do it. Kihari accepted the dare. She put the straw to her lips and drank the scalding liquid. Immediately, she began screaming in agony. The boiling water burned her mouth, throat, and lungs. She collapsed. The adults rushed her to the hospital. Doctors discovered she had suffered severe internal burns to her throat and respiratory system. Kihari was placed in intensive care. She underwent multiple surgeries. For months, she lived with severe complications from the burns. Her airway was damaged. She struggled to breathe. The internal injuries were catastrophic. Despite the medical team's efforts, Kihari's condition continued to deteriorate. The damage to her throat and lungs was too extensive. Eventually, 4 months later, she died from the injuries sustained from drinking the boiling water. The case shocked the nation. Parents were horrified that such a simple dare could result in death.
A simple dare too, it's just water, hot water. Crazy. How she passed? She drank boiling hot water. Crazy.
Spread across social media about the deadly risks of dares among children. Kihari's family spoke out, hoping to prevent other children from accepting danger.
But at the same time, depending on her age, I don't know if you mentioned it, you will fall into some shit like that, not knowing. You're like boiling water. It's just gonna be hot, burning. It's fine. you're not gonna think, you know, the skin in there is actually very sensitive, and I might get burns in there, and the burns might. You're not gonna think all of that. So I mean,
her death became a cautionary tale in schools across the country. The children who had dared her to drink the boiling water were left traumatized by what had happened. Kihari Pope was just 8 years old. The slug incident. On a warm evening in 2010, 19-year-old Sam Ballard was at a party in Sydney, Australia, with his rugby teammates. They were drinking wine in a backyard. The conversation was lighthearted. Then someone spotted a garden slug crawling across the patio. As a joke, one of Sam's friends dared him to swallow it. Everyone laughed. It seemed like harmless fun. Sam picked up the slug and swallowed it whole. Everyone cheered. The party continued. Sam went home that night thinking nothing of it. Days passed.
Fucked up bowels, fucked up stomach. You probably got. I saw this one thing one time. It was one. It was like 100 Ways to Die, 1,000 Ways to Die, but it was like a real show. I remember somebody had like drank like something, or they no. This lady took to lose weight. It was like a tapeworm, and that shit grew, and never left her body until it consumed her body. Now I don't know if that show was real or not, because this is the same show that said somebody laughed to death. They said somebody laughed to death. Their laughing box wouldn't stop them laughing at the bar, and they died of laughter. So I don't know if this show was real or not, but I remember seeing that. So I think man.
Then Sam began feeling strange.
I know he's feeling some pain
in his legs. Within weeks, he could barely walk. He went to the hospital. Doctors discovered the slug had carried rat lungworm parasites. The parasites had infected Sam's brain, causing a severe infection called eosinophilic meningoencephalitis.
Oh no!
Sam's brain, causing a severe infection called eosinophilic meningoencephalitis.
Not eosinophilic meningoencephalic acid. No, bro. Esophyllonic a protolificus.
That nigga's tripping.
It's fucking dangerous.
Sam fell into a coma for 420 days. When he finally woke up, he was paralyzed from the neck down. The infection had left him a quadriplegic. He couldn't walk, couldn't feed himself, couldn't breathe without assistance. For 8 years, Sam lived with severe disabilities, requiring around-the-clock care. His mother became his full-time caregiver.
No way.
Sam's friends were devastated by what their dare had caused. In 2018, 8 years after swallowing the slug, Sam Ballard died from complications related to the infection. He was 28 years old. His death highlighted the hidden dangers that can lurk in seemingly innocent dares.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like I've seen niggas eat slugs before. Real shit. I feel like I've seen niggas eat slugs. Like lick a snail. That snail got Exophyta and then you're fine. But in this case, that slug had
Sam's friends carried the weight of what had happened for the rest of their lives. The fireworks incident.
This is like one of those things that makes you think, you know what? I'm not gonna do anything stupid, because you literally don't know what's going on. And a lot of these, eat a slug. I feel like I've seen Jackass. Remember Jackass? Them niggas be doing crazy, like eat a slug. I'm gonna eat a slug. I'm gonna eat a roach. you know what I mean? And you know what I mean? But I feel like we seen a lot of these things like that, and nothing happens to them. So then when you hear like drink boiling water, it's like I saw a nigga do a backflip on a bed of nails. You think drinking boiling water is gonna be hard or gonna kill me? But then
on October 24th, 2024, during Diwali celebrations in Bengaluru, India, a group of friends gathered to celebrate the Festival of Lights. Fireworks were everywhere. The night air was filled with explosions and colorful displays. The men had been drinking, and the atmosphere was festive and reckless. Someone brought out a large box of fireworks and suggested a dare. They challenged a 32-year-old man in the group to sit on top of the box while they lit the fuses. Friends laughed and egged him on. The man, emboldened by alcohol and...
Nah, this one's stupid. I don't care how old you are. Don't sit on no firework. Niggas lose limbs, fingers. Niggas blow their fingers off doing stuff like holding it on too long. I'ma throw it. I'ma throw it. I'ma throw it. Boom! They like, ah! Hold on. They're like, wait. They're like, where's my hand?
Peer pressure.
Don't play with fireworks.
He climbed onto the box and sat down. His friends lit the fireworks. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the entire box exploded beneath him. The force of the blast was catastrophic. The man was thrown into the air. The explosives detonated with tremendous power, causing fatal injuries. Friends screamed and rushed to help, but it was too late. Emergency services arrived quickly.
What did they think was going to happen, though? Why would you play like this?
It had been part of a dare. The case received widespread coverage across India. News outlets showed footage of the aftermath, warning others about the dangers of combining alcohol, fireworks, and peer pressure. The man's family was left to mourn a senseless death. His friends who had encouraged the dare were left traumatized and guilt-ridden.
None of these people are getting arrested. Now, the 8-year-old girl, her friends probably shouldn't get arrested. It was boiling water. These niggas right here, get arrested. That's like me saying, bro, you know what you should do? You should jump off the top of the house onto the floor. It's not that high, bro. But see if you can do it. Like, bro, do it. No, actually, I don't know what I'm saying. They should get arrested or charged for something.
Authorities used the incident as a warning during future Diwali celebrations. The table surfing incident. On June 1st, 2025, in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, 17-year-old. On June 1st, 2025, in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, 17-year-old David Nagy and his friends from Freedom High School gathered.
That's a black one.
They had been watching viral TikTok videos of people table surfing, riding on top of tables tied behind cars. The videos made it look thrilling and fun. The teens decided to try it themselves. They found a folding table and flipped it upside down. They tied it behind a car with rope. David volunteered to be the rider. His friends thought it would be hilarious to film. He climbed onto the upside...
I'ma guess. It's like they braked and then he came sliding straight into the back of the... Boom! Is that what happened?
...down table and...
Because I don't think you can fall off and die from it, right?
...sat down, gripping the edges. The teenage driver got behind the wheel and started the engine. The car began to move slowly at first. David laughed. His friends cheered him on. Then the driver accelerated recklessly. The car picked up speed. The table bounced violently behind the vehicle, shaking and wobbling. Suddenly, the table was flung into a parked vehicle on the side of the road. The impact threw David off the table with tremendous force. He hit the ground hard. His head struck the pavement. He died from catastrophic injuries. The driver slammed on the brakes. Friends screamed and called emergency services. Paramedics arrived within minutes, but there was nothing they could do. Prosecutors charged the teenage driver with involuntary manslaughter. The case drew national attention as an example of deadly TikTok dare trends. David Nagy's family spoke out about the dangers of social media challenges. Schools across Pennsylvania held assemblies warning students about table surfing and similar viral stunts. David's friends were left traumatized. What started as an attempt to recreate a viral video ended in tragedy. The senior assassin incident. On a day in May 2025, high school seniors in Arlington, Texas, were participating in Senior Assassin, a popular end-of-school tradition. The game involves students chasing each other with water guns, trying to eliminate opponents. It's meant to be harmless fun, a way for graduating seniors to bond before heading to college.
Someone use a real gun.
Each other's locations and
it's Texas.
Surprise attacks. That afternoon, 17-year-old Isaac Leal was participating in the game with friends. They had spotted their target and began pursuit in a Jeep. The chase intensified. The vehicle accelerated through streets. The adrenaline was high. The teenagers were laughing and yelling, caught up in the excitement of the game. As the pursuit continued, Isaac climbed onto the back of the moving Jeep. He was trying to get a better position during the chase. Friends later said he was riding on the exterior of the vehicle. Then the Jeep hit a bump in the road. Isaac lost his grip and fell from the moving vehicle onto the street. His head hit the pavement with devastating force. The Jeep screeched to a halt. Friends jumped out, screaming. Someone called emergency services. Isaac was rushed to the hospital with catastrophic head injuries.
Oh my
goodness.
goodness.
Weeks, he remained in intensive care, clinging to life. Doctors did everything they could.
Oh my
his
goodness.
family kept vigil at his bedside, but the injuries were too severe.
Notice how a lot of these are kids under the age of 21. When they say, you know, we have a drinking limit of 21 because your brain's not fully developed. Imagine if a lot of these people were drinking by the age before 21. They gonna hear a dare and say, like the first guy, I'm doing it, move, I'm doing it, get fuck off me, I'm jumping. That's how it will be. So take that into account. A lot of these people are young adults. The girl was 8. She's it's just crazy.
2025, after weeks in the hospital, Isaac Leal died from his injuries. Investigators confirmed the death occurred during the Senior Assassin game. The incident sparked debate about whether such games should be banned.
The game had nothing to do with that. It was the person. It was a person in the friend group. See, if my dog's trying to hop out the car, I'm gonna be like, yo, chill. Either to him or the driver. Chill, chill, chill. You know what I mean? But it's one of those things that you're gonna get caught up in a moment and be like, go, get him, ah. And then boom, fall off and you land and someone gets hurt, broken, or dead. Is the last thing you would think. There's nothing wrong with the game. They be doing this everywhere, I feel like. I don't think they do this in California. I think it's more of a Midwest thing.
Some schools across Texas immediately prohibited the tradition. If you'd like to see more...
Hey man, that's a W video. Appreciate you for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I do have a vlog channel, my main channel. Y'all go peep. I just dropped a vlog. See y'all on the next one. I'm out.